men looking for in a black woman?
All right. Yeah, you're coming in clear. Yeah. What do we want? Well, I think it's quite simple. I think we want the same thing you all want as black women. We want the same thing. We want to feel like we're respected. We want to feel loved, and we want to feel appreciated. I think that's probably the biggest thing. If you can make a man feel appreciated, trust me, he'll be yours for life. Make him feel valued. Make him feel like he's worth something. We black men don't really get, I mean, I'll probably step on some toes, but that's okay. Well, at least in my experience, I haven't, how can I say this? Okay, so here, all right. Okay, here. I'm 43 years old and, married twice, divorced twice. I've only been in relationships with black women. And I just can't tell you the last time I felt truly loved by a black woman. I mean, I'll just come out and say it. There's constant, it starts out nice, but ultimately it ends in strife. It ends in competition. That's the thing. There's always
What do you mean when you say competition, Marcus? What do you mean when you say competition?
Competition for who's how can I say this? Competition in terms of who's right, who has to be right, who has to be correct, who has to be in the lead position, who has to be, and it's like, okay, can't we just love each other, and can't we just, can't we just compromise, and so there's this combativeness that I never understood.
So let me ask you this. I have a quick question. As it relates to you stating that it becomes more competition and combativeness, at what point in the relationship does she begin to feel like she needs to compete? Are you then securing her enough to let her know that there's no competition as it relates to you and I, because your love for me that I need from you is enough? So therefore, your reaction and your response back to her is then you are enough as well to me. So then that person, that spouse doesn't feel as though there is a competitive, because you feel the competitive energy in the room. You feel that. So at some point when that competitive energy begins to enter as the man, then if that's not what you want, then you have to change that whole that energy in the room to make sure she understands, look, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You do this, and this. There's no competition, because I think sometimes we begin to feel the competition, and then we feel as though we need to step our game up. So if we don't feel that pressure of step up, then there's no competition. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that is true. When you bring in the competitive energy, you certainly will have a combative spirit that follows, because somebody is trying to win at all times, for a conversation, for the best cook, during the holidays, for the success of your businesses or wherever you work. I did this, or the best vacation selected. It's going to be a nonstop competitive,
Now, like you speaking from some experience there, Diane, what's going on?
Well, I am to a degree, but for me, I needed my ex to understand that there was no competition with me. There was no need to compete with me, because I was secure and solid in knowing that, yes, I brought in majority of the money, and I still respected and responded to him in a way that let him know, you picked the vacation.
I tell you what, we will never get through this hour because I feel some hurt and some angst going on.
You know what? You know what I thought about as we were talking? This is something that we haven't dealt with in the Black family, and it's very current and relevant right now. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Can you all hear me?
For a moment.
Okay. One of the things I was thinking about is we're so beat up on and abused by the world, you know, given racism and all that we have to deal with in the workplace. And then we bring it home and we impose it on each other. Mm-hmm. And we
I agree with that.
Stop and pause and realize that that's what's going on.
Absolutely.
And
that we're actually all, that we're both from the same team.
There's really nothing.
Correct.
And we're on the same
it's
team.
Like,
exactly. We're on the same team.
Why are we competing? Why are we competing and we play on the same team?
Exactly.
I remember saying that with one of my ex-wives. I remember that. It's like, why are we competing and we're on the same team? We should be competing against the other teams.
Right.
Why are we competing and we're on the same team? That doesn't make sense.
I think we have to realize it first, though. We have to realize that that's what's happening. You know?
Yeah. It's a strange dynamic.
Woo! Yes. Okay, so check this out.
We have to remember we're in hostile territory. If we didn't know,
Amen.
We should know now. You know, it's very evident that we're in very hostile territory. So when we come home, and you come home from work, or you come home from driving, whatever it is that you're doing out in the world, you come home, you almost need to detoxify. Where you interact with your family, like Diane, like Laura said, the hurt and the anger.
Was that Regina? Is this Regina or Diane?
Yes, sir.
That was Regina. That was Regina.
That was Regina. So Regina, you hit I think you just hit the nail on the head in terms of what we're looking for as Black men. The imagery comes to mind when you say that about coming home. There's a meme, which I'm sure you all have seen. There's a meme on social media. There's a meme on Facebook of a guy who, it's a cartoon meme of a guy who looks like Barack Obama, and he's on his knees and he's got 10 knives in his back.
Wow.
And there's blood gushing from his back. And obviously his countenance is one of sadness, right? But he's on his knees, and guess who's the queen who's standing above him, putting a crown on his head while he's got 10 knives in his back and he's got blood gushing from his back. Who's putting the crown on his head as he's kneeling? Michelle Obama. And she is drawn as a queen, standing over him, putting a crown on his head. That's what we want.
Wow.
Black men, we want a Michelle Obama. That's
so
what we want.
Let me do a recap, Marcus. What you're saying after you're out there, you're slaying, you know, you're trying to hold it down.
And we getting knives in our back. Yeah.
The world is the real adversary. When you come home, you want somebody to adore you. You want somebody to lift you up. Is that what you just said?
That's all we want. If you do that, you can have anything you want.
That ain't all you want.
That's all you want.
That ain't all you want.
Yes, that's it. You can have anything you want. If we get that when we come home, you can do anything you want. You can have anything you want. I'm totally yours.
We got a couple other callers on.
Make sure you leave your address, because some of the
Hey, Laura knows how to contact me.
Woo! All right, let's hear from another male caller. We heard from Dr. Marcus Harris. Let's hear from someone else.
Okay.
Is there another caller bold enough to come forward with their definition of Black beauty and what they're looking for in a Black woman?
This is Kevin Brooks. One of the key things I would stands out in my mind is acceptance. I've been there before where, you know, I had someone who was totally in acceptance of who I am and what I've gone through as a Black man. it wasn't so much that I had to do, I had to do so much that I had to impress her, because there was always the attraction was there, but I did not have to create a fantasy that you could not.
Yes again.
Yes.
Hello?
Okay.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on
Hello?
1 second, Mr.
Go ahead.
Mr. Brooks is speaking.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Kevin.
didn't know I was running.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
losing
sir.
my
Go
spot now. Well, man, it wasn't, and not like I had to recreate an overwhelming fantasy that, that's been displayed through the media or maybe on television, that I had to be this certain type of romantic. But this, but what we're looking for is something simple. It don't take a whole lot to find someone to spend all day trying to get your hair done, trying to get your nails done. That's not something, that really stands out. It's more like things are more inward, more like, wow, she is so smart. Knowing that you got someone that you can refer to. She is my Google. She is the person that I would refer to. This is the person that I could depend on. And that, that's the overwhelming joy of a confidence that you will have in a woman.
Yeah.
So that's that's some of the things that I look at.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not looking at outer appearance at all. You simply said it's really how she completes you.
Not at all. He didn't say at all. He just said that's not the main.
Well, not completing me, because we're gonna coexist with one another. Because if I say completing me, I don't want to admit that what I have to offer her. So if I say someone to complete me, but it is definitely something that I look for. That someone that we have that common ground, and so that what she brings to me is what I want to bring to her.
Interesting, very interesting. Mr. Mike Daniels, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry that I interrupted everyone like this. I'm a friend of Laura, and I can look at y'all, and I heard the first brother speak. I'm 68 years old, so my expectations is a little different from other people, because I got more in my rearview mirror than what I got in front of me. So my expectations of where I'm going to be 10, 20 years from now are probably a lot different from your expectations. So what I'm looking for in a woman is someone that's probably not looking for the same thing, because we're at a stage in life where companionship is probably more important than a lot of other things that I would have thought is important when I was younger. For example, me and my ex-wife now get along better than when we were married.
And it's the same with my parents too.
That made me grow, and because of that, it's improved our relationship over time. And I'm talking about like 20 years. It ain't talking about no short time period. So what I'm looking for in a woman is someone that's maybe not as physically attractive, but I like activity. I can't have a sedentary relationship, because I'm on go. I like doing things. I like doing things in my church. I like doing things in my life. I like doing things in politics. I like biking. So I'm looking for someone that's not looking for somebody to sit at home with them all night and watch movies. And I like movies. I ain't got nothing wrong with movies, but it's more than just movies that I see. And I hope they see in me. So I'm kind of out the loop. I ain't been in a relationship in a long time, so I'm a little different. And I ain't looking.
You said you're not looking, Mike?
But I am looking. You are always looking.
But you are.
Brother, you're not much different from you. You're not that far different from the rest of us.
That's right. You always, because the best ones come out of the clear blue. The serendipity ones. The ones you didn't expect. That's what I'm looking for. That one that's got to hit you upside the head. And you better not walk by this, because it may not come back to you. But you learn that when you're 68. You don't walk by too many.
Very true. That's good. That's good.
We have another caller on the line. We'd love to hear from him. Actually, we don't know who it is. It's an unidentified caller. It could be just a female calling in, listening in. I don't really know.
I think I know who the caller is, but he may be a little shy.
Don't be shy. This is the best part. It makes you grow.
There's nothing wrong with listening.
Everybody hear me?
Yes, yes. So when we think about we as women, I think we make the assumption that the first thing a man sees is our outer appearance, and I think depending on where you are in your life as a woman, you probably are still trying to be attractive to some degree. When and how do you guys pay attention to that? How important is that, and what does that look like to you?
So,
Can I address that?
Uh-oh, not all at once.
all right.
Go ahead, Marcus.
All right. So here's what I'll say to that, Laura, and I'll be completely transparent. So, somebody's got some music on in the background there.
Not me.
It's me. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Go ahead, Marcus.
Okay, there we go. All right. So I will admit, I don't know if it's an age thing or you thing or whatever, but at 43 years old, I still contend, yes, outside appearance, of course. I mean, we're men, ladies, we're men. So of course we're gonna look, on the outside. That attracts us initially.
Marcus,
but what keeps us?
Marcus, hold on 1 second. Regina, what did you say?
Excuse me for interrupting you, Marcus, because I want to give you the utmost respect, but may I say something? 43 is not old.
I guess, go ahead.
She said 43 is
like
not
it's
old.
43 is not old.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Well, I would contend the gray hairs in my beard would say otherwise, but I appreciate that.
Forgive me for interrupting you. I just wanted to say that joke.
Well, that's okay. I appreciate that.
But I'd like to join in with her in a minute.
Wait a minute. He didn't finish.
My man.
You got a lot of good years ahead of you. I wish I could go back to 43.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. But
you got some good years ahead of you, baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I was saying, yes, as men, we're naturally going to look on the outside. I mean, it is what it is. So that's what initially attracts us. But once you attract us, you got to keep us. And then once, in order to keep us, in addition to having that nice figure on the outside, you have to have something on the inside that's going to keep us interested, right? You got to keep us interested. So, I'll leave it there for now.
Well, you can. That's such an open-ended answer. You got to say what keeps your attention, because sure, someone walking by could, capture your eyes, but then if she starts talking and her conversation is on either her work or, a show she likes or whatever, what is where would you like to go from there? Is it a book that you like, or plays, or, what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's common interests,
right?
Common interest, compatibility. Kids nowadays like to use the term vibe. There's got to be a vibe there,
right?
Is there a positive vibe where we're really connecting? Is there a genuine connection? Now we can connect physically. I mean, that's pretty easy, but can we connect from from an emotional and from a mental standpoint?
Right, because I'm different. I know I'm different, so everybody ain't gonna be able to handle me.
Woo!
So I am. You know. I am.
Whoa, this is interesting.
Very interesting.
May I say something? I'm not going to reveal. I won't reveal who, but I'm getting text on the phone saying, "I really wish I could see these guys. We really wish we could see these guys."
Yeah.
I just thought I'd put that out.
This is not a dating.
Yeah.
This is not a dating service. So
this should be a
Someone
Zoom
suggesting
call.
that we do that.
He said it should be
But you know something?
We should have
This
Zoom
is how
video
it is.
though.
very
Right.
We should be on Zoom.
But it's easier to start if you like somebody without seeing them. That's
I
a
agree.
leg up.
Yes, I agree with that too.
If you
I agree with that.
I want to see you. Oh, you've done a job right there. I'm interested now.
I didn't hear. Can you say that
See, that's the mental aspect. But see, that's the mental aspect of relationships that we don't get right off.
And it's more long lasting. It's far more long lasting. Absolutely.
Exactly. So maybe by not having the picture there, you can create a much greater relationship than by having a picture. Because I see a picture and I don't like the picture, I immediately shut you off. You don't get to sell yourself. That's why as a stockbroker, if I walk into your office in a pink suit, I'm done. I'm never going to put my words across because you are blocked out by what I physically assaulted you with. So sometimes having the picture there serves as a detriment more than an enhancement. So you might want to try a meeting without the pictures to develop that type of environment where you can get to know a person without physically being attracted.
We are running through this hour really, really quickly. I'd like for each of you, if you could just briefly tell me what is an absolute no-go for you. See, because we're talking about Black beauty and how you define that. I think what's a no-go? Where's the stopgap? That's like absolutely not.
You don't like yourself. You don't like yourself. I don't like people, and I really don't like women, because they're down on themselves, whether it's their physical, whether it's their job, whether they're emotional. I am a glass half full guy. I don't like negativity. I don't like people saying, I can't do. That's a turnoff to me. I don't want to waste time in that type of environment. We want to grow, we're going to grow together, and it's always a challenge. So if you enter in a relationship saying I can't do, there's a lot of problems we got going forward. Because I like knocking down I can't do.
Excellent. Thank you, Michael. What about you, Mr. Kevin?
I would say someone who dwells on the past too much. Whether they have children and talk about their children's father, talk about a lot of negative past issues that will continue to come up, and that it would inhibit your growth together. Because once that starts becoming a factor, then it becomes a trust issue with me. Because I start getting compared to the failures and the bad negative vibes they have from the past. And that's a big turn off for me.
That's right. Don't burden me with somebody else's.
Because often happens though, because I know I've been working in social services for my entire career. And one thing that I've learned is one of my problems is taking on too much in other people's problems. And that was a natural thing professionally, but then it came over to my professional life. And so by doing that, I'm thinking, oh man, Regina sure got a lot of problems. Baby, let me help you. Let's talk about it. I know you have a trouble past.
He used my name.
I know your man. He's gonna get out of prison one day, but do you have some papers on him to keep him? Don't be afraid. I'm gonna be here for you and the kids. So I wanted Regina to relax, but then I'm taking on too much.
Right.
And instead of allow her to address her own issues, I would take on because she continued to bring it up. I'm scared. My kids need this. I need some money.
Oh.
I need so hey.
What's your name, brother? What's your name? What's your name? This brother is speaking the gospel, man. He's telling the absolute truth. We don't want that new relationship. I don't want your problem. You know?
I want the relationship.
Wait a minute. Let me hear from Marcus, because I have some. I need to give you what I believe I interpreted from that conversation. Go ahead, Marcus. What about you? What's the stopgap?
Ingratitude. Ingratitude is a huge deal breaker.
Yes, it is.
So I need you to be grateful for, I need the same type of gratitude for if I'm treating you to a 5-star restaurant, wining and dining out on the town. I need the same gratitude for if we're having lunch at Wendy's.
Wow.
Right. Gratitude. Be grateful. Exactly. It could be White Castles, whether it's White Castles or whether it's Andiamo. Right? Either way, I gotta have gratitude. I need expressions of gratitude.
Oh,
right.
So it sounds like they're more focused on the interior than the exterior.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're not totally dismissing the exterior. I agree with what Marcus said. We typically men.
Yeah. I mean, we feel like it. We feel like a nice exterior now.
Yeah, don't stop it now.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever dated anyone that you found so beautiful on the inside that you...
They didn't, because they told you
settle for less on the exterior.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, the exterior is the initial attraction.
Say she didn't look the way.
Can we take that out of the relationship?
Virginia, go outside and get on this thing. I'm sick of this. We need to hear your question.
Yeah,
but
can you hear your question?
What she said is true. There are a lot of times. I may like you on the inside.
What is the question, please?
We can't hear her question. Don't worry about it. I think she said...
Text us your question, Virginia.
I'm certain that she said, have you ever dated somebody who you like better? They were better on the inside than they were on the outside. And I said, they have to first get past your first veil, which is external appearance.
Yeah. But can I say something like that?
That don't happen immediately.
Those people, I didn't end up in a relationship, but I got good friendships out of those people. Very good friendships. And I prefer them as a friend more so than a relationship. Mm-hmm. Because I saw something in them that maybe I wasn't respectful physically, but oh my God, the interior is so great that I don't give it up.
Wow, that's powerful.
But Lord, let me.
Not end up in bed.
Okay, let Kevin jump in. Mike Daniels.
Okay, well.
Was that Kevin speaking or Marcus?
Oh, that was me. That was me. But go ahead. The other gentleman can go. I was gonna say a point of clarity though.
Okay, well, I was thinking that, yes, I've dated someone like that. But those type of relationships, it's not one of those that it starts off. It starts off as mostly as a friend that you begin to date. And, it's not someone that, because you will get a chance to, because I've dated a friend like that before where I'm like, wow, I wish we had not wasted so much time.
Wow.
And, because, you find yourself, actually more attracted to them because of, as you get to know them, you kind of peeled off those layers, that you have been accustomed to. Like, because you really know that person now. And I wish that all relationships were like this.
Yes. Unfortunately, you only get that in the end.
Yeah. But just as a point of clarity, though, you don't have to look like Halle Berry on a whole side.
I don't like Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Too skinny.
But you also can't look like Precious either. Sorry, you can't be Precious. Sorry.
I love you, Marcus. I love that.
I'm just saying.
I like you, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus. Marcus touched on the truth. too many.
Hey, that's all I can speak. All I can speak is true.
Right. I'm going to tell Mark, I agree with you. Too many black women are too big. That's it. The bottom line. I can't get past the size because
Did he say too big?
Oh.
I'm happy I'm married, Mike. I be feeling some kind of way.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Well, now we're talking about health. We're talking about health and fitness
And that's
now.
why I'm saying.
Yeah.
To me,
That goes back to when you start to talk about health and fitness again. It goes back to we're in enemy territory.
Exactly. So I'm using that as a criteria to
and most of us, not most of us, but a lot of us are on the slave master's diet.
Yeah. You don't have to be in tip-top shape, but you can't be morbidly obese either.
Right. Exactly.
No.
And
That's
too
the
many of
nice way of putting it.
Too many black women are morbidly obese.
Now we're getting to the crux of it, huh?
Yes,
Right.
we are.
You're right.
Express yourself, brother.
Brothers got too. Now, don't get into one way. That goes both ways. But we are too.
I hear men talk about women wanting women to be voluptuous and full figured.
No, you don't have to.
That ain't what he's talking about, Regina.
No. Again, you don't have to be Halle Berry. You don't have to be Halle Berry.
Right. That's not natural.
Okay, what about Monique? Which one?
Which one?
Which one? Can we pick?
That's true.
Yeah, not 400 pounds, Monique.
Right. Exactly.
No,
Before and after.
I don't think they would have said that if we saw their faces. Would you guys have said that?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Go right ahead, Mike.
Do women really understand how much of a turnoff weight is in our community? I mean,
what do you mean?
I don't think they
I don't
do.
know.
But we will
I
definitely
don't think so.
get that out there. We will make sure that we make that.
I don't think so.
The point of the conversation is for us to know. So what we know, we're going to take back to our ladies and our friends and our colleagues.
I don't have any female friends, but you all. This is it.
I know. I don't either. But the thing of it is that we can post it on our site, on our website, and let them know what the topic of discussion was today. And that is a turnoff. And I can agree. It's hard to hear, but I understand and I see the truth, behind that, because we feel the same when it comes to men being morbidly obese.
I know y'all do.
Exactly.
We want because think about that. I mean, you guys can go any way you want to with the conversation in terms of intellectually and all that. But the whole point of it is when you get down to the sex, you don't want to be that woman under the okay, anyway, we done. Y'all can somebody.
That's why communication is hard, because you got to get down to the real gut.
We just did. I'm trying to keep it PG. I want to keep it PG on the show. I don't want to go too far, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to
Marcus made that go away when he said not precious. So.
Right. We're
all adults. We're all adults.
We're wordsmiths. All of us know how to speak the range of King's English. There's a lot of words. We don't have to use the
It can be R-rated.
Right, exactly.
We can go R-rated. You don't have to keep it PG.
Right.
We're adults.
We only have about 10 minutes. We only have about 10 minutes.
You guys.
This is not the ABC.
This is a fun group.
This is awesome. Next week we have to do a Zoom show. We have to all be able to see one another.
Yes, I agree.
All right, so I'll give everybody the link. If you are bold enough to show your face and make your comment, I'll make sure that you can have the link.
No, I have no
show face. I agree.
If you are willing to come back next week,
no sense in hiding.
I will give you guys the direct link, and we can get it on for sure. Let me tell you something.
Watch what you say, Laura.
They know what I'm talking about. My husband is standing right over here, so we're good. So I want to say I really appreciate you guys actually coming onto the call. I think we're probably still missing a younger man, or because we got Mike. I don't know Kevin's age. Marcus told us his age. But I think it is imperative that we as African American women.
You know my age.
I said I know Mike's age and I know Marcus's age. I don't know Kevin's age.
Is this
Kevin,
Regina?
that's not me. That's not me, Kevin. That's Laura.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Right.
You know, this was really enlightening. I learned some things.
I did too.
And I have 4 or 5 brothers, but I learned some things, you guys.
Yeah.
That's very good.
And you know what? I think that we should have an even deeper discussion because some of us are still trying to attract men, and I think
all of us are.
No, Mike, you're wrong. No, Mike, not all of us are, and I've never been that one. I never cared about what you thought. I've never cared about what a man thought. That was never, if you don't get to know me, I could care less about what you thought about my outward appearance.
Right.
I needed you to understand me on an intellectual basis.
But you're married.
No, even when I was not married, Michael, that was never my interest.
But I don't know how many people of this 6 are married. Anybody else out there besides you married?
No, I'm not the only one.
Right. When you're single, you are always looking.
You're on the hunt every day, huh?
Every day. It might be in the grocery store. You better keep your eyes open. You know, I had a bad experience.
That's a lot of work.
That's too much work.
So we can't really hear Regina. Every time Regina says something, Regina, type it in the chat room or on your phone.
Okay. Typing you in the chat room all the questions that I've had, Regina, over on the side.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Put them in there, and then we'll do that. Diane, what are your wrap up comments? What do you want?
Oh wow, there's so many thoughts. Okay, so I mean, I want us to be able to continue the conversation for sure. I so appreciate everybody being so transparent and giving us, such an insight on what, the conversation is. Next week, we want you to get even more in depth and give us the barbershop talk. Give us the talk and conversation that you guys have, when
the barbershop
not around.
Barbershop.
Gladly.
Yeah, we want that conversation because we want to be able to, assist and help our sisters and ourselves so that we are not entering and exiting these relationships the wrong way. We need to know what is the vibe. We need to know how to connect to each other so that the relationships, that they bring about longevity. That's what we want more importantly. We want longevity.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good line. Very good. I like that. I would love to be able to assist in that manner.
We will have a Zoom link for next week. I promise you, we will not keep you in the dark. Regina said to tell you all, thank you for joining our call. She learned so much.
Everyone must.
Is it 8:30 next week again?
8:30 is when it starts. And we're going to get right into it. We're not going to, we're getting straight into it. We don't even need music. Let's just start the discussion because this is hot. This is really, really hot. And by the way, guys, just so you know, we recorded this session.
Good.
So
we'll definitely get you a link to it. I think.
Hey, Regina.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Laura.
Yeah.
Hey, Laura, can I give a 5-second close for today going into next week?
Yeah.
I'll say this going into the next week. As Black men, real men are protectors. Real men are providers. Black women, I know you all are independent. I get it. You're independent women. That's fine. But if I can't provide for you, I can't love you. If I can't protect you, I can't love you. So, that's bottom line. If I can't provide for you
Marcus,
and I can't protect you, I can't love you.
I'm in love with all of that. That's what I'm understanding. Yes, and yes.
And you know the way you do that?
Very beautiful statement.
Marcus, next week we'll break down provide, what they're providing.
But you know
not
the
today,
way you
not
do
today,
that,
Diane. You have to do it.
But the way you do that is by controlling your economic future. And the only way you control your economic future is to run your business. It's the only way. Yes. It's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
The only way, because as long as you're controlled by a clock and somebody else, it's very difficult to change your future. And it's so easy to be in business now. As an independent contractor, you can control your future. And that's what we must learn to do. We must learn to take charge of our lives. And part of that problem is you got to be responsible. You got to be accountable. So when you screw up, you got to admit you screw up and learn from that and move on. We have some problems with that in our community. That's just my opinion.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We are a consumer-minded group of people, and we should really be trying to figure out how to create economic wealth. And I appreciate, Mike, you saying that.
You know, I devoted 40 years of my life to trying to teach our community the power of your money and economic use of the money. And we still, to this day, we should be getting that government EIDL money. If any of y'all are independent contractors, any kind of business, apply for this money. The government is giving it away. I'm so angry at us.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right, Kevin, your last. Go ahead and make any parting comments before we wrap up our segment.
Well, I want to thank you for the opportunity. I've learned some things. I really learned some things. I'm looking forward to, you know, taking things maybe to another level.
Oh, yeah.
Because we hit on some things on which we kind of had expanded on. You know, I learned some things from both of just listening to both of the other two gentlemen, you know, that is on here. And like I said, I am definitely looking forward to our next meeting.
So am I. Thank you, Laura.
I'm so excited.
Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to say this. I don't know that we say this often enough, but quietly behind closed doors, without the fear of our egos being jeopardized, as Black women, I think it's fair for me to say this for myself and Diane. We're having this show because we really love you guys. We do respect you guys, and we want to connect with you guys. So we're doing this so we understand you better, so that can happen. So thank you all for sharing with us, and we do love you and respect you. We just got to learn how to show that.
That's good reassurance. Thank you.
I thank you for giving me
That's good reassurance.
Yes, it is. It's very reassuring. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. And I've definitely learned something. I'm looking forward to next week, and I hope this can continue longer into the future.
We need to get more women on the call. We really need to get more women on the call so that they can actually glean from these men, because I think it's important that they understand.
Argument on here.
Just keep doing it. That's all.
You're going to start an argument on
here. Get
on that, Laura.
There's going to be arguments going on now.
Okay, never mind.
I know, right? I think the three of us, we're enough for them.
I don't know. I think another single woman, maybe another single woman.
Yeah.
A married woman probably can give her perspective.
Yeah, because I might be I think I might be the wrong one. So
yeah, you a different kind. You a different kind of married woman.
Watch it, Michael. I know where you live at. I will ride over
there. That's why I'm willing to say it. You ain't your normal married woman. That's all I can say.
That's right.
That's why you can't represent the normal married woman. You're not. And I say that with pride. And I'm happy to say that too.
Excellent. I appreciate that.
You can't represent the normal woman. You ain't that.
I appreciate that. Again, so we are going to wrap up the Women's Corner. I want to tell you guys that Virginia said for she and Diane, they're looking to glean more insight so they can better learn and pass the information on. I want you guys to always know that for mostly all Black women, we see you for the kings that you are. And we want you to recognize that you should never forget that you guys are kings. You are an endangered species.
You are loved.
You are an endangered species.
Thank you.
You're an endangered species, and we are here for you.
That's what I just one of my crazy theories. A lot of Black men's problems are our problems. It's in our heads. It's these women who gave birth to us, and most of our lives, it's the women who raised us to be the men we are. And without them, that's why Mother's Day is so different from Father's Day. Everybody has a special bond with mother. If you see childbirth, I understand why. I could never be a mother. I'm just not man enough to be a woman. You know, childbirth proves to me that you have a special bond that nobody can interrupt. So the relationship, a lot of our problems with women is in our heads. And that's what we have to work that out internally in our heads. So I don't think you should force all the blame is what I'm saying, basically.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It is time for us to come to a conclusion. Next week at 8:30.
Brothers, it was nice meeting y'all. Look forward to it again.
8:30 next Saturday, and I'll get you all an active Zoom link so we can see video. Because I can't wait. We about to get it on.
Should be interesting.
Lord,
I got to put a shirt on now.
No, I gotta get dressed now. I can't sit around in my underwear.
Just from the neck up.
Right.
Waist up.
Waist up. Just waist up.
Waist up.
Or don't get up. All right. Goodbye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.